What's up, everybody? Tonight we're going to talk about a pre-workout meal. Basically, we're going to go over what are the fundamentals that make up a pre-workout meal and why are those fundamentals in place to begin with. Really, your pre-workout meal is designed to optimize your workout, to give you that steady flow of energy that allows you to get in there, get the job done, and not feel weak, tired, or crash in the middle of your workout. It also is the building blocks for your post-workout recovery. So if you have adequate pre-workout nutrition, you're going to increase muscle protein synthesis, and you would actually decrease the amount of cravings of having, let's say, steering away from your diet post-workout. So what is basically what constitutes a pre-workout meal? So I'm sure you always heard about, I'll start with, I'm basically going over the macronutrients. So I'll start off with the one that we all hear about the most, carbohydrates. You have two types. You have your simple carbohydrates and your complex carbs. In most cases, you're going to want to stick to your complex carbs. So your brown rice, even your white rice isn't too far away from brown in terms of the glycemic index scale, but your potatoes, your kind of starchy carbs, you're staying away from the sugars and you're focusing on whole grain. It's probably the easiest way I could state what a complex carb is. So you're going to want to have a decent portion of complex carbs. And here's why. When you ingest complex carbs, just as the name suggests, they are more complex on a molecular scale, and it takes your body longer to break them up. When your body has to break up complex carbs at a longer duration, that duration is going to equate to more sustained energy levels. So contrast this with simple carbohydrates like sugar. As soon as you ingest it, boom, you get the insulin spike, your body absorbs it, and it's almost like like a heartbeat on a monitor. Like that's kind of the chart example. If you can picture that visual, your insulin goes up and you crash right back down. And when you crash and you have that glycemic index or that insulin response, I should say, dissipate so rapidly that it also will start taking away from your energy levels. So long story short, complex carbohydrates, not your sugars, not your simples. When it comes to protein, again, through your whole day, you're aiming for 1 to 1.25 grams of protein per pound of body weight. And the protein is the one macronutrient where you're going to have equal parts of throughout the day. So whatever that number is, if you're 200 pounds, you got 200 grams of protein, and you're eat 4 times a day, then you're going to aim for 50 grams of protein per meal. Whereas with your carbohydrates, I should have mentioned that you want to have your heftier dose, your larger portion, your more grams of carbohydrates pre-workout and post-workout than you would, let's say, in the middle of the day when you're sitting at your desk, not doing anything, not expending energy. Now comes the fat. Fat actually can slow down digestion to the point where it could be a little bit too slow for a pre-workout meal, because you want your body to ingest that protein and that carbohydrates. You want to have that energy start to build up. You want to start to have that amino acids from the breakdown of protein flowing through your bloodstream. So if you introduce a large amount of fat half hour, an hour before your workout, I think you're going to blunt the breakdown a little too much. You're going to draw it out, the digestion I'm referring to, a little too much for an optimal pre-workout meal. So recap, high dose, bigger portion of your complex carbs, equal portion of your daily protein requirements, and a smaller portion, almost non-existent portion of your fat. And that really constitutes as your pre-workout meal in optimal conditions if you have the time to get it down roughly about an hour before you work out, 45 minutes. I wouldn't kind of push it any closer to that, especially if you're squatting or deadlifting and putting a lot of pressure on the abdominal area, because you want to have optimal time to digest. So some examples, specific examples of a pre-workout meal would be, so let's pick something. Let's say you're driving home from work and you got your bag with you already. You're about an hour away from the gym. One thing I used to do is a packet of instant oatmeal. Mix it up, throw it in a cup, and I would eat that along with a whey protein shake. So that is exactly what I just said is optimal. What's in oatmeal? You have your complex carbs, almost zero fat, and your whey protein. You got your whey protein, zero carbs, zero fat. So again, you're getting a hefty dose of carbs, hefty dose of protein. Another one that I used to do religiously was tuna fish as my protein source, but I would use mustard and onions. I know, but hey, listen, I was cutting down my fat by eliminating the mayonnaise, and I would mix that up. I would have that off to the side, and I would have. I used to buy those Uncle Ben's brown rice packets, and I would aim for myself around 60, about 50, 60 grams of carbohydrates total. So that's about a cup and a half of rice. So I would have 2 cans of tuna, cup and a half of rice. That was my pre-workout meal some days. Another good one would be grilled chicken with a baked potato with no sour cream. Again, we're trying to eliminate the fat. Or even better, I used to chop up grilled chicken, chop up sweet potatoes. I would put some cinnamon across the board. I know it sounds a little weird, but trust me on this one. And you mix it all together, and that used to be something I throw in a Tupperware, bring it with me to work, and eat it before the gym. So if you like this video, please like the video, subscribe to our channel. If you want me to do any more topic videos like this, drop us a line. Any questions or comments, leave them below. We'll get back to you. And ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you for watching.